It's my first satsang in the ashram in India. An ashram is like kids' camp, but for truth-seeking adults. And a satsang is a community gathering where you sit with your guru and engage in meaningful conversations about life. It's an opportunity to ask some of those hard, deep questions. So I'm sitting here, strategically positioned right in front of my teacher, Yogi Vishvaketu. And the satsang begins. I feel this tension in my neck and shoulders, a squeezing sensation in my chest, and a knot in my stomach. And I ask, how do you know if the discomfort that you feel is here for you to stay with and learn from? Or if it's indicating that something in your life is out of alignment and you need to make a change? And what I'm really asking is, should I break up with my partner even though I thought he was my soulmate? And should I let go of this version of my business, even though it's brought me incredible success? My teacher looks me straight in the eyes, and then he looks at everyone, and he says, there are really only two sensations: expansion and contraction. And your true nature is expansion. I take that wisdom onto my yoga mat every morning at 5:20 a.m. And one morning I'm sitting there, meditating, well, trying to ignore the family of monkeys out the window. And I breathe and observe what I feel, mostly the contraction. And I do my best to delay reacting. Don't fix it, just feel it. And then out of nowhere, the answers to my questions come in the form of physical sensations. Release, like a 100-pound weight has been lifted off my shoulders, openness, and expansion. And I understand what he means. I also know the truth of what I need. I say yes to that knowing and take that wisdom home. And it leads to me letting go of the man and the business. Our bodies guide us to the truth of what we need in any given moment. We just need to pay attention and let our bodies lead. And when we do, we tap into this massive source of truth-bearing information that can help us make purposeful decisions. We stop saying yes to what we think we should do and start saying yes to what we're meant to do. And this isn't always easy, especially when what we feel is the contraction, the discomfort. Standing on this stage right now and sharing this message with all of you feels expansive and on purpose. I know I'm meant to be sharing this message, and I know that we are all here to co-create this experience together. But the process leading up to this moment was wrought with physical discomfort. In fact, the last time I felt this uncomfortable, I ran away to India. But this time, there's no running. Instead, I go out for a slow stroll with my dear friend, Marie. You all need a Marie in your life. We're walking silently, side by side. And with some hesitation, she asks, "How you doing, Case?" She knows full well the process I've been in. "Ugh, Marie, I have this tension in my neck and shoulders, this squeezing sensation in my chest, and a knot in my stomach, and I just want it to go away. I keep doing what I think I should, and I'm spending hours in front of my computer trying to script out a talk. I've read the TED book. It's got all the tips and tricks and tactics of creating a great TED talk. I'm comparing myself to all the other speakers, and the harder I try to get my message out, the worse this tension feels. I'm on draft 11, and I still don't know what I'm going to say on that stage." And I rant, and Marie listens. And then she asks me some questions to guide me back into myself. One of them being, What if this discomfort is here for you too? And my body bursts into tears and laughter at the same time. I am crying because I know that she's right. I know we can't just receive the wisdom that comes from the feelings we judge as beautiful and expansive, but those sensations that are uncomfortable also provide important information. But I don't really want to feel those feelings. Like, do you? I didn't think so. And yet, it's in this moment that I learned something on a much deeper level. That sometimes, oftentimes, especially in moments of growth or when there's a lot on the line, or when you really just want to do a good job, that the expansion comes through truly surrendering to the contraction. It isn't until I start to practice what I preach, till I let the delay be the way, that I'm brought back to my expansive true nature. And then guess what? An acronym drops in for my talk. Well, actually, it drops in for me. It's something for me to help me pay attention to my body and let my body lead, especially when it's hard. A couple days pass, and I catch my head grasping for the next bit of clarity around the talk. And with that grasping comes very familiar physical sensations. But this time, I do something different. I don't fix it. Body, I say to myself, to snap me out of my head spin. Breathe, and be present. I take a deep breath in, and I breathe out. Observe. I notice the tension in my neck and shoulders, the squeezing sensation in my chest, the knot in my stomach. D is delay. Wait for the truth of the wisdom to be revealed. Don't fix it, just feel it. And this is the part that I hate. But I know how important it is. So I decide to leave my phone at home and step outside as if to just hang out with my feelings for a little bit. Just feel that discomfort. I wander down 17th Ave, a busy street here in Calgary, and I notice a man sitting on the sidewalk, hunched over, with a newspaper out in front of him collecting others' change. I make eye contact, as if to say hello, and then continue to walk by, as I normally do. But he says something to me, and I turn back and, say, pardon me, and walk up to him and swap back down. And he starts to talk more. I can't really hear all of what he's saying, but he just goes on, and I hear something about getting kicked out of home and someone he trusted stealing all of his money and his sister-in-law committing suicide. And frankly, I don't know if what he's telling me is true, but what I see in his body is contraction. I see that he's in pain, that he's uncomfortable. And frankly, I'm uncomfortable too, because I don't know what the right thing to do is to fix his pain. And then I remember, don't fix it, just feel it, and I stay. And he continues to talk, and he talks, and he talks. And then he starts to cry. And then he looks up at me for the first time, tears in his eyes. And at this point, there are tears in my eyes too. And in this moment of pure human connection, I receive the truth. I'm brought back to my expansion, and the tension in my body is gone. And I notice for him that he seems more expansive too. The Y of the body acronym is say yes. It's one thing to receive this wisdom, and it's another thing to trust it, to really own that it has value, and to live that wisdom out. I recognized in that moment that what this whole TED experience is really about is, for me, not just standing on this stage and speaking a message to all of you, but it's truly living it. It's living it every single day so that it actually has a meaningful impact. I asked Graham, would you like a handshake or a hug? And of course, he opts for the latter. So I grab his hand and pull him up to standing and give him a big squeeze and set him back down, and we peacefully part ways. Our bodies guide us to the truth of what we need in any given moment. And when we pay attention and let our bodies lead, not only do we make more purposeful decisions, not only do we stop saying yes to what we think we should do and start saying yes to what we're meant to do, but we build these deep, meaningful connections with other people. When we increase our capacity to hold space for all physical sensations, even discomfort, and we meet that discomfort with acceptance, compassion, and love, our capacity to hold space for other people increases. And this is how this practice truly changes the world. So I invite all of you right now into your own bodies. Plant your feet on the floor and lengthen up through your spine. And if it feels safe for you, let your eyes close. Perhaps there's something in your own life that you have a question about or a hard decision to make around. And if that's true for you, just bring that question to mind. And then breathe. Inhale. Notice the expansion, and exhale. Notice the contraction. Observe. What is it that you feel in your physical body? Expansion, contraction, both? Where do you feel it? Get a little bit closer to the sensation. Delay, even if it's uncomfortable. Don't fix it, feel it. Whatever is here for you has wisdom for you. And though it's 100% possible for you to receive that wisdom in this short time frame, it's unlikely. You might need more time. So I offer this as a practice that you can come back to, that you can take home with you, to really know yourself on a deeper level. And take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth and let your eyes blink open. And once that wisdom is revealed, say yes. Thank you all so much for being here.